Hi guys, welcome to an interesting video on Wild Rift. So today we're back with a Lucian commentary guide. So ever since he released, like the minute he released, I bought him and I've been testing him out. I've played about 20 matches on Lucian right now. And honestly, I'm still in the testing phase after 20 matches. Now, so first up, let's just quickly get into the gameplay. So I put the ward down, Vayne walks a little bit too far, so we get off a Q and a double auto attack. And here we're just basically trading level 1. It's really, really intense. So here I'm flashing forward, get the first blood on the Senna, and the Vayne is gonna have to back off. So, from level 1, it's already a very exciting match here. This is one of the things you want to do in laning phase, which is to queue through the minions for poke. Here, Janna is backing in a really dangerous position. So, Senna, I guess the bush must have been warded. Senna flashes forward and for the kill. Here I'm going onto the Vayne. I'm chasing her down, so my Q is about to come off cooldown and I'm one level up on her. She has to flash away, so that's overall more or less a positive trade in the early game. So I've been testing Lucian a lot. So my first thought is that he's not going to be too good in the bot lane. I think he's probably going to be better mid lane or top lane just because of how short his range is. The only reason why this match he is doing very well is because we're against a Vayne, and Vayne has like the shortest range out of all the AD carries. I think Lucian's range is either the same as hers or might be just that slight bit higher. Here, as you can see, I'm queuing through the minions again to try to hit my hit the enemy Senna and Vayne with my Q. So of course you want to be autoing in between every skill cast just to get off your passive, which is the double basic attack. And one thing I noticed about Lucian is that he does do a lot of damage, but you have to be using your E aggressively. Now, I don't mean that you have to dash into the enemy team with your E, but I do mean that you have to at least use it just to proc your passive. So you have to at least dash sideways to proc your passive. If you don't use your E, you won't be getting off as much damage. And normally when you use it at the start of the fight, because with every passive proc, your cooldown on your E will reduce. So if you E auto, Q auto, W auto kind of thing, you get off 3 passive procs and your E is going to be almost off cooldown, especially when you get a few points onto it. Here, Lucian comes from a gang, misses essentially everything, but luckily I hit all my abilities and auto in between to get the kill onto the Vayne. So yeah, so I have been testing multiple builds as well. Blade of the Rune King will always be the first item just because of how easily you can proc it with Lucian. Just any skill, any damaging skill. So either your Q or your W plus 1 auto attack, which will actually count as 2, since you actually get off 2 auto attacks because of his passive, will actually proc Blade of the Rune King. So that's really good. And because of that, I'm going to be building Black Cleaver second item in this game, just because Black Cleaver takes 5 attacks to hit max stacks, and with Lucian, you Q double auto, it's already 3 stacks, and you W double auto, that reaches the max 5 stacks already. So especially Lucian is sort of like a skill based burst kind of AD carry, not so much like a auto attack based AD carry. So you can actually burst people down really easily with the Black Cleaver. But after experimenting with Black Cleaver second item or Statikk Shiv second item into crit build, I do believe that Statikk Shiv second item is better than Black Cleaver second item. So Black Cleaver is a little bit more utility, or if you want to a little bit more tanky. Here I'm gonna go onto them. I hit majority of my ult, but of course I can't be running into the tower to ult, and the minion wave also comes to block for them. So unfortunately we don't actually pick up the kill. One problem I noticed with Lucian is that he's very mana hungry. As you can see, my mana is already really low. Here I was gonna back, but here I see Janna going onto the Vayne, so I come back to the fight just to help her out, and she gets the kill. And here I'm already out of mana, so I'm gonna have to back to get mana. I have experimented with both Mana Flow Ban and Sweet Tooth, and overall I feel like Sweet Tooth is still better because it gives you health as well, and if your support takes the honey fruit, you do still get the gold. So overall I still prefer Sweet Tooth, but with Sweet Tooth you will run into slightly more mana problems than if you took Mana Flow Ban. So Mana Flow Ban stems the problem a little bit. Some people build the Mana Mune. I think it's way too slow because you have to charge it up to like 700 stacks for it to actually be useful. So it takes way too long. Here I queue through the minions and managed to hit the Vayne, so this is what you always want to be aiming to do. And it's one of the reasons why Lucian isn't honestly too good in the AD carry position, just because when you walk forward to queue through minions to hit people, most AD carries outrange you. He's probably a good pick into like Kai'Sa and Vayne, those with short ranges, but if you pick him into someone with long range, you're not gonna have too much fun because they can just auto attack you to poke, so that's not too good. Here Vayne is more or less alone. Rengar is pathing down though, but he does get distracted by the Yasuo. So here we are gonna go onto the Vayne. I quickly burst the Vayne and get the kill onto the Vayne. Here we are against Rengar and Senna, so I'm going to flash out. Not in the best position. I get hit by nearly everything, but at this point in time, me and the Janna take him down, and Lucian comes over to pick up the kill on the Senna. Of course, the exhaust onto the Rengar probably saved my life there. So that was great. And actually, Rengar wasn't exhausted. It was an exhaust onto the Janna by the Senna. Or rather, I should say that just because of how just because of the kills I got onto the Vayne, I already have Blade of the Rune King and Gluttonous Grief, so at this point I'm so far ahead. Like, as you can see here, Vayne is struggling to kill the Janna, and I just focus her down and she's just dead. So, when Lucian gets fed, he's really strong. His burst combo is really strong. Of course, that is pretty common sense, because any character when they're fed is strong, unless you're playing like a Soraka or some kind of support. But any damaging character when you're fed, obviously you're strong. So I'm 5-0-2 at this point in time. I have picked up Blade of the Rune King, Gluttonous Greaves, and got nearly completed my Black Cleaver, 900 gold away from completing Black Cleaver. Of course, there is a debate over Gluttonous Greaves or Ionian Boots of Lucidity, because technically, Gluttonous Greaves gives you lifesteal. I did take Hunter Vampirism, and we do have Blade of the Rune King as well, so some people say you do have enough lifesteal. I just prefer the Gluttonous Greaves, but most people like the Ionian Boots of Lucidity just because with shorter skill cooldowns you can proc your passive more often, and overall obviously your damage goes up by a lot. So here, as you can see, something you can do when trying to take towers is you can launch your E and your W. You can't launch your Q if you don't have a target, but you can use your E and your W to proc your passive, which is your Light Slinger, to get double auto attack, and that allows you to take down towers faster. Of course, only do this if it's safe to do so. Here, Rengar is actually spotted at the top lane, so here I'm gonna just keep pushing. Ahri actually gets off a nice rotation, but unfortunately for her, I'm just too fed, so we're just gonna destroy her. Here I'm gonna hit the majority of my ultimate onto the Vayne. Vayne trying to kill Janna, but honestly at this point in time, Vayne doesn't actually have any damage. She only has one Blade of the Rune King. She's 0-8-0. So at this point in time, Vayne really isn't going to do too much. She is way overestimating what she can do. Here, we actually managed to push 2 straight towers. Of course, that's enough. We can't be pushing for inhib. So we're just going to back, reset, pick up all our items. Going to pick up the Black Cleaver as well as the Zanya's Hourglass just to be safe against like the Darius, the Rengar, if they get on top of me. Lucian of course does have a dash to kite people out more easily, so that is a definite benefit. Not every AD carry has that. So here I'm going to take the red buff. Here that was basically Lucian's combo. You E auto, Q auto, W auto. The other alternative is you E auto, W auto, and then Q auto. So the W and Q is sort of interchangeable. Q does more damage, but W helps you be more mobile to stick onto them because it gives you a movement speed increase after you auto someone that you've hit with your W. So depending on the situation, you either want to use W or Q first. Here I'm going to use my ultimate to burn down the Vayne and I become godlike. Here Senna taking a huge chunk of damage. Here I actually die for the kill. However, Senna does actually get a shield from her locket, so I don't actually manage to pick up the kill onto the Senna, unfortunately. If she didn't have locket, that was a basically guaranteed kill. Here Ahri is showing back up Yasuo with a nice wind wall. We're just going to pick up another plate. At this point in time, my entire team is ahead. We have so much pressure. The enemy team can't really do too much here. Clearing out the minion waves. Vayne decides to run in. Yasuo hits a knockup into his ultimate, and at this point in time, Vayne gives me less gold than a cannon minion. She's 0-80, 0-90, I'm not too sure, but at this point in time, she's worth less than a cannon minion, and it's a really sad state when a champion is worth less than a cannon minion. I'd rather farm the minions than kill you. So here, Darius oversteps way too far. Of course, we're going to collapse on him. Darius actually gives a hefty chunk of gold. He's like the only member in the enemy team that's actually doing decent. The entire rest of the enemy team is just getting destroyed by my team at the moment. So here, just trying to get off the ult to get the Vayne, but the Vayne tumbles out of the way. Here, the only reason why we take this fight is because we're so fed. If this was a normal even game, or we're behind, we wouldn't even take this fight. Here Vayne gives 70 gold less than the cannon minion. So here, like, essentially we 4v1 this fight. We get the kill onto the Vayne, and we basically 2v4 this fight is what I'm trying to say. We 2v4 this fight. We nearly get the Rengar, but unfortunately he just goes out of my range, so I end up killing the minions. Unfortunately, Darius comes up from behind, assassinates Janna, and here, you know, they're of course chasing me down. Of course, I use my E to get away, flash to get away, and yeah, there we go. So here I'm like 1 HP. I take my hands off my phone, and I scratch my nose, and thankfully the moment Senna launched out, I thought I was dead because I couldn't grab my phone in time. But thankfully the Mountain Drake actually saves me. So the first Drake we picked up from my team was actually the Mountain Drake, and it gives you that small shield, and the fact that I'm of course level 11, way higher level than the enemy Senna, and combined with the Mountain Drake's shield spawning actually does save me, and I actually don't die, which I find incredibly amazing. I somehow just don't die to the Senna. I was fully expecting to die the moment I took my hands off the phone and saw the Senna ult, but it didn't happen. I didn't die, so that was amazing. I retained my perfect KDA. Here, of course, we're just going to take Baron because we're so far ahead. We don't even need enemy members to be dead. The Rengar is dead though, so they won't have any chance to steal as long as Lucian smites it properly. So they're not even coming to contest, so we pick up the easy Baron, and of course we're just going to push down the lane at this point. So here we're just going to, of course, just force mid down, just push down mid. Of course, Lucian is very scary when he's fed. I'm 10-0-6 at the moment, so I can just go for it, just burst. Look at that burst from Lucian. Amazing damage. The a bit irritating thing about building Statikk Shiv is that you do get a lot of nice AoE, and you know it's really good, but when you're trying to siege towers, whenever the Statikk Shiv procs, you will actually aggro the enemies, and you do actually have to go out to reset tower aggro. There I have a really nice zoning ultimate where I basically just ult them while standing under the tower, but I'm so fed that they can't step up, so they all have to retreat just because I pressed ultimate, and that allows my team to secure the tower very easily. Here I'm just trying to hit whoever I can. Ari actually hits a couple of nice charms onto me in a row, but unfortunately there's no follow-up, so nothing too much comes of it. I still have my Zhonya's on standby, so I'm very unlikely to die. Here, I focus the Darius, get the kill on the Darius, and here I'm just focusing the tower. There's a lot of fighting going on, but I just want the tower. After the tower is gone, I can fight a lot more easily. But I see that they're low, so I just do dash in to try to get off the kill, but unfortunately he lives on very low HP. Same thing with Ari, she manages to ult back onto the base and pick up the kill on the Senna, and the Rengar lives with 1 HP as well. Ari dies. There we go. So basically here just farming kills as are the Baron minions and the game. So of course I've run out of mana yet again. Lucian problems, no mana. So here we actually managed to pick up the kill on the Vayne like a millisecond before the game ends. So yeah, if you guys like what you saw, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll leave you guys with the stats. Thanks for watching the video, guys, and goodbye.